Find other great podcasts like this one at Podmoth.Network.
Hello, twisted humans.
Do you find yourself wanting to know more about the latest murder, conspiracy, cult, or haunting?
Then this is the podcast for you.
In 1952, there was a record high of UFOs reported. 1,500 sightings.
There has been evidence of human sacrifice, devil worship, and it is haunted by more spirits than can be counted.
A family of 2 adults and 2 kids reportedly saw a giant flying thing with glowing red eyes.
And meanwhile, the family's nanny that helped Veronica to care for her and Lucian's children was found bludgeoned to death in the basement of their family home. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Sierra, and this is Twisted and Uncorked.
Welcome to the Getting Down and Wordy podcast ad.
What do we do on this podcast?
Well, it's the first musical podcast.
Can you try that again in real words so that people can understand?
Fine. We talk about the intersection of popular music and language.
Oh, can we also talk about Eurovision?
Okay.
Find us on Apple and Spotify.
We are a Podmoth Network podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us again for another brutal, bizarre, and boozy episode. What story do you have for us today, Mom?
Oh, I am going to be telling you about a very interesting medical condition.
Okay.
I know, those are always your favorite.
Yeah. Depends on how it goes, because I did a couple last time, but...
True. What are you going to be telling us about?
I am going to be talking about Tracie McBride.
Okay.
Well, not a great story, but to go with this, I have the Air Force cocktail is the name of it.
Very interesting sounding cocktail.
I think it's going to be good. I make this normally, but I do much bigger ratios, but this is 1 part bourbon, 1 part cranberry juice, basically. The recipe says 45 mils of bourbon, 45 mils of cranberry juice, but you get a rocks glass, half bourbon, half cranberry juice. You're off to the races, especially 50, if it's the mango cranberry ocean spray.
Yeah, I just went straight cranberry.
I went straight cranberry too because I didn't feel like going to the grocery store to get the mango stuff, but I already know this is going to be delicious. Let's give it a try.
Okay. Ooh.
Favorite drink. I could drink a million of those.
It was pretty tasty. I think I would have preferred a different bourbon. I went with I can't think of the name of it now, but it's not the best. It's okay, but it's not great. Should have used.
I used the Jim Beam rye because that's what I had, and that's not my favorite whiskey right now.
I know, but that's not bourbon.
It's not bourbon, but it's rye made by a bourbon company, so it tastes good. Rye made by rye companies taste spicy.
Oh.
They were out. The liquor store at my town was out for so long.
Oh, really?
Brought it back. So
of the Jim Beam rye.
Yeah, it's my favorite whiskey right now.
Yeah, that's a favorite in our house
Jim Beam
too.
Straight, but the rye is smoother, I feel.
Yeah, Dad really likes the Jim Beam rye, and it's not very expensive, which is nice.
Yeah, $15 for a bottle of it.
Right.
I think it's $15.95 or whatever. But anyways, let's talk about Tracie McBride.
Tracie McBride. Okay.
Tracie McBride was born on May 17th, 1975. Tracie was a Girl Scout, a great student, and an amazing friend, excelling in most of her classes. Tracie had big dreams of going to college to become a music teacher. However, the high cost prohibited her from following her dream right after high school. So she took the path traveled by many, and she joined the Army to fund her academic career, with plans of leaving the Army after obtaining her degree. So she was just
Smart.
she went to the Army just to get some money so she could go to college, which is
Makes
super
sense.
smart.
That's
Make
one
the
of the
government pay for
bonuses
your
of
school.
Right.
Tracie went to Goodfellow Air Force Base in San Angelo, Texas for 2 weeks to take an advanced intelligence training course. On her 10th day there, Tracie walked over to the laundry room to do some laundry and chat with her friend on the phone at around 9 p.m. While speaking with Tracie, her friend noticed that Tracie started acting nervous and strange on the phone.
Oh.
The friend heard another person enter the laundry room and struggle with Tracie, which led to Tracie abruptly hanging the phone call up.
Okay.
Several minutes later, 2 military members were shooting the shit together, talking, looking out a window, just passing the time, basically.
Right.
When they spotted Tracie in a chokehold being led by a man with a pistol aiming at her head.
Oh, shit.
They immediately realized something was wrong and rushed to figure out what was going down. Like, they immediately rushed down the stairs. We got to figure out what the fuck's happening.
That turned messy real fast.
So they ran downstairs, split up in hopes of finding the man holding Tracie at gunpoint. Private Michael Peacock snuck around a corner to see Tracie standing by herself in the dark. When he approached her, he was pistol whipped in the back of the head and knocked unconscious.
This just keeps getting wilder.
Yeah, so he saw her. She was just kind of standing in one of the parking lots, kind of by herself, looking scared. And he approached her, like he was sneaking around. Obviously, there's someone with a gun on the base. You got to be sneaky. He's like, hey, come on. And then bam.
Boom. Yeah. Okay.
The kidnapper then forced Tracie into his car and sped off the base. Private Peacock was able to provide a description along with other reports determining that they were looking for a shorter black man driving a red or maroon Camaro or other muscle car. They assumed it was Camaro, though. Neither one of the witnesses could recall ever seeing the man before on base. Because this takes place at a military base, so the options of a kidnapper are highly limited. Like,
you're just not wandering onto a military base. You have to, you have to be allowed in, and
there's fences, military police checking you in and out,
and if he walked onto the base, or climbed the fence or whatever, that'd be different. But he had a vehicle, so he drove onto the base. Somebody had to let him in.
Flyers were passed out throughout the nearby area, and a $20,000 reward was offered for any information.
Wow.
Given the fact that this abduction occurred on a military base, the suspect pool was expectedly small.
Right.
Investigators didn't really have any credible leads until an unrelated incident occurred. The Air Force Office of Special Investigations, or the OSI, was approached by Staff Sergeant Sandra Lane, who had an interesting run-in with her ex-husband. Sandra claimed that she was attacked by her ex-husband, Lewis Jones. Lewis came from a rough background and served 22 years in the Army as a highly decorated Army Ranger and Master Sergeant. So he was the real deal, but he was honorably discharged and became a bus driver at the base. So he got out of the military and was like, oh, I need a civilian job. He probably had a pension, so he's like, I'll be a bus driver.
Question. Okay. You said that she was in the Army, yet she's on an Air Force base. Is that right?
Yeah, they do cross training at different bases and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Like that's why I chose the Air Force. She was in the Army, but it was at an Air Force base. And
Gotcha.
so like
Okay.
what's that one that released all the anthrax? Fort.
Oh, I don't remember.
Anyways, they send people to different, like they send the Coast Guard to, like my friend is in the
Okay.
Coast Guard. They send him
Right.
to Army bases to do training or
I gotcha.
like Air Force
Okay.
bases. So
I don't
just
think I
kind of
knew
cross
that.
training references
Yeah.
and stuff
Makes
like that.
sense. I just didn't know it.
A military base is a military base, and whether
Right.
it's an Air Force one, the Air Force probably has more of what she was sent there to do because she was sent there for
Gotcha.
intelligence purposes and
Right. Okay.
stuff like that. So, Sandra told investigators that Lewis came to her home after an argument and pulled a pistol on her and forced her into his car. Sorry. He drove Sandra to her bank and made her pull out $800. He also made her
Jeez.
call his phone and leave a voicemail saying that she wanted to reconcile their divorce.
This
He
is.
then
Oh my
took her
God.
to his house and sexually assaulted her at gunpoint, saying her daughter would grow up without a mother if she didn't do what he wanted.
This guy.
then
Does he
drove
drive
her
a
home.
red muscle car?
He was driving a red Caprice, I believe, at the time. Not a muscle
Oh.
car, but yeah.
Okay.
But so after the police arrested Lewis, they brought him into an interrogation room, and that's when they realized he looked just like the sketch of the man that kidnapped Tracie.
Right.
Once they brought him into the interrogation room, he started rocking back and forth and whispered to the investigator, "If I had a gun right now, I would shoot myself."
Okay.
That's a very incriminating thing to say.
Wow.
After
This
a while
just
of
keeps
questioning
like
about
getting
Tracie,
wilder.
Lewis broke down and said, "I broke her skull." He then proceeded to tell
Why?
investigators everything that happened. On February 18th, 1975, Sandra called Lewis and left a heated voicemail. This angered Lewis, so he drove to the base to look for her. He spotted Tracie and his plans changed. He decided to kidnap Tracie instead. He brought her to his home and proceeded to sexually assault her. Afterwards, he forced her to clean herself up with hydrogen peroxide, gagged her, tied her up, and put her in her closet.
Jesus.
A friend of Lewis's came over while Tracie was in the closet. The friend ended up saying his name out loud, and he asked Tracie if she heard his name, and she said yes.
Oh, no.
So he knew he had to kill her. He made Tracie walk on towels to cover her footprints and led her back to her car, or to his car. He drove Tracie under a bridge near Abilene, Texas, and hit her over the head 9 times with a tire iron. He dressed her back up in her military fatigues and left her there.
What a jackass.
Which he freshly washed at his house, so it was
So nice of him.
Lewis was
He's
charged
probably
with
trying to get his
kidnapping.
DNA off of him.
Yeah, I think it was kind of more of a respect. I don't know.
Really?
Being that
Now he's going to
served
respect
in the
her?
military for so
No.
long. The fact that he put her back in her uniform,
I think he was.
it feels like a weird ritual type thing, like
Yeah.
like a folding of
feel
a
like-
flag type thing. I think it was like this is gonna make her feel dignified.
I
don't
get
know.
that. I think he washed them to try and get any of his hairs.
Obviously. But he
off
just
of it.
spilled his beans as soon as he was caught for something else. He
Well-
wasn't even. They asked him, and he was like, "Okay, yeah, I did it." But
Well, I can
don't
respect
think he was
that. At
really
least he's
trying
not.
to conceal it that much. is what I'm
Yeah.
trying- I think it was more of like a
True.
weird mental, like he was trying to honor her because she was a military. I don't know. It's a weird situation, but Lewis was
Yeah,
charged
I
with
don't like it.
kidnapping within special maritime territorial jurisdiction resulting in death.
Okay.
A very
yes.
strange charge, but very accurate.
Yeah.
So McBride's family supported the prosecutor's decision to seek the death penalty for Jones. The trial was moved from San Angelo to Lubbock due to news coverage in San Angelo. In November 3rd, in 1995, the jury came back with a unanimous decision recommending death. Jones was executed by lethal injection at USP Terre Haute, making him the third federal prisoner executed after federal executions resumed after 2001. McBride's family and the friends were present at the execution.
Mm.
Jones spent his last minutes reciting scripture and singing an old religious hymn. He offered no verbal apology to the McBride family, but instead looked at the family in the witnesses' room and mouthed the words, "I love you."
Oh.
Asked after his last statement, Jones added, "Although the Lord hath chastised me sore, he hath not given me until death." Psalms 118. Jones then started singing, "Jesus, keep me near the cross." Broke briefly twice to recite, "Thank you, Jesus," as the lethal cocktail of drugs eventually took his life. After Jones' execution, his attorney read a written statement from him, though. The statement said, "I accept full responsibility for the pain, anguish, and the suffering I caused the McBrides for having taken Tracie from them." He said he would not ask for forgiveness for the awful things he'd done to Tracie, and that they continue to feel anguish and pain that they will always feel due to his crimes.
Wow.
Yeah, it kind of a tough ending, but
Yeah.
it's nice that he acknowledged their pain, I guess.
It's
That's the only nice thing I have to say about that guy.
And I don't know how to feel about his prepared statement. Like, part of me says, well, writing it down and having your attorney read it is chicken shit. But I also wonder, like, if the family is like, I don't want to hear anything that fucker has to say.
I think,
Don't have regretful words come out of your mouth because it's too little too late. And I don't know.
I think it would
like
be
I
better
said,
to hear it from someone else's mouth rather than the
Yeah.
person.
I kind of do too.
Just so you
I don't know.
have some solid. It's like at least he felt.
It's not going to make anything better. I think
some-
it did. The whole thing might just
yeah.
piss me off.
I would request a firing squad and I be on the firing squad by myself.
Right.
With a full auto. Just
Yeah.
bah, bah, bah. Say hello to my
Yeah.
little friend.
Yes. You don't like it. That was rough. I did not know where that story was going. Like, every time you said something else, I was like, what? Where? What is? How did we get here?
Yeah. It
It's
just so
all over the board.
happenstance that this on the one hand, I feel bad for saying this, but he's probably all his brain's probably all scrambled from 20 years of service being a ranger and all that. Like,
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
dudes' brains don't turn out well usually. Like,
No.
it's a sad thing to say, and
It is really sad. I appreciate the service that they give, but it's
Yeah.
really sad that something like that happens.
and
Ooh.
it's once your brain, like CTE, we don't know anything about CTE really.
Right.
Like, we
And
know
they
it
didn't know
messes
anything
you
about
up.
it back then.
Definitely not. And so it's like,
No.
it, a lot, like with football players, military members, like any job that has an injury of you hitting your head or getting
Yeah.
concussed or something, like, it's
Yeah.
a really bad deal.
I agree.
Let's hear about your story.
Okay.
Maybe it'll cheer us up.
Are you ready for my weird medical condition?
Hopefully it's
promise.
not about CTE.
It is not about CTE. It's not about the brain at all. Well, I mean, the brain does have a factor. You'll
I
see.
get kind of scared that I have CTE sometimes.
Yeah, you might. I mean, we won't know for sure for
No
a
one
while.
knows for sure until you die.
Right.
The only way to know is when you die. But okay, sorry.
This is definitely not CTE involved, though. And I'm surprised that I've never heard of it before, because I've heard a lot of like weird medical stuff, but I have never heard of this before. And I'm surprised that, I mean, with all the weird things that we've covered through the years on this podcast, we've never discussed it before.
Okay.
Before I get into the condition, I want to talk about the symptoms first, because I want to see if you recognize them and if you can kind of pinpoint what it might be or similar to. The severity of the symptoms can be from mild to more severe. Milder symptoms include brain fog, clumsiness, delayed reaction time, drowsiness, impaired judgment, memory issues, reduced inhibitions. And more advanced symptoms can include agitation, balance issues, blurred vision, dilated pupils, flushed face, mood swings, vomiting, and slurred speech. Do those symptoms sound familiar to you at all?
Yeah, if you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to a financial compensation. I don't know.
No.
I hear that they say that at 10 times speed at the end of every single drug commercial. I don't know what that means.
Right. Okay. I get what you're saying.
Vomiting. You may kill yourself. You may.
Do the symptoms seem like they could correlate to something you've ever experienced or I have ever experienced? What?
I forget. What were the symptoms again?
Okay. Anywhere from brain fog, clumsiness, delayed reaction time, drowsiness, impaired judgment, memory issues, reduced inhibitions, agitation, balance issues, blurred vision, dilated pupils, flushed face, mood swings, vomiting, slurred speech.
Alcohol.
Okay. You are correct. But these symptoms are associated with a medical condition in the gut.
Oh, where you produce your own alcohol?
Yes.
Oh, I've heard of this.
I had never heard of this.
I've seen body cam footage of people getting pulled over and they're like, I haven't drinking anything today. And they blow like a 0.2 and it's like, turns out they
wild.
Okay. I don't
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called gut fermentation syndrome. Another name for it is also Auto-Brewery syndrome. So I may refer to it as ABS at some point. Many people have probably heard of the gut microbiome. Essentially, we all have bacteria that and fungi. I don't know, it depends on who you are and how you want to pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced both ways, but basically fungus and bacteria that live in our bodies, especially in our stomachs and intestines. And they're there to help us digest our food and things that we drink.
Shout out to lactic acid.
Yes.
The best of the fun bacteria.
All the acids, all of the
good pickles.
Everything.
Pickles that I make are
Oh,
lactic
right.
acid.
Yes.
It's good for you.
These are basically microscopic organisms that help break down complex carbohydrates, proteins, and fats into smaller absorbable molecules. An interesting byproduct of this process is fermentation that produces ethanol. In a normally functioning body, the ethanol is metabolized before it reaches the bloodstream, but in some rare cases, the microbes produce so much ethanol that it starts to build up in the body. As the ethanol builds up, the blood alcohol content increases, essentially causing intoxication without drinking any alcohol. Again,
So
I didn't know this was a thing.
I have brewed my own beer before, and you have to put a burper on it, or you have to burp the
Yes.
thing itself.
Right.
So are these people just constantly burping up like
They might.
like mash liquid? Like, because
Yeah.
you put the mash in, and then that is like, it's just basically grains and stuff that you soak
Yeah.
and it ferments. So like, are you just burping up yeasty like beer burps
Probably.
all day? Ugh.
Yeah. This can happen from a yeast overgrowth in the gut, high blood sugar, and poor metabolism. Normally, the microbiome is balanced with different types of organisms playing well together. Everybody's getting along. But if there is an abundance of certain organisms, it can cause problems like yeast. If you have too much yeast in there, it can cause the fermentation of sugars that you eat to turn into ethanol, which is terrifying.
That sounds like
Some
if I had a disease, I'd want that one.
I
Oh,
wouldn't.
you're always drunk? Okay.
Yeah, but you don't know when it's going to hit you. We're going to talk about some cases, but
I think you would.
you don't
it probably
know when
depends on
it's
your
going to hit
diet.
you.
If you just
Yeah.
eat certain things, then you could probably control the amount of alcohol. If you eat like a bunch of
But
rye bread, maybe it'll activate more and you get more drunk. Like,
it could take up to 24 hours before the symptoms arise. So
if
you
you rode a
get
bicycle,
drunk.
you'd be okay.
You
You couldn't
drink
drive a car on this, but
you drink, 3 good heavy pour whiskey drinks. You know you're starting to feel it because you know you drank the alcohol. So you go, I'm drunk. I'm not driving home. But when you're not drinking anything and all you did was have pasta for dinner the night before, you don't know that you're going to be drunk. You just
But
feel
is
like,
that-
I'm kind of out of it.
is that not a get out of jail free card? You go to court and it's like, hey, I have this disease. I literally
Yeah.
cannot not be drunk.
Right. Some medications or medical conditions can cause or contribute to the microbiome being out of balance. For example, if you have been on antibiotics, they're going to destroy your microbiome. And so you're going to end up with like no bacteria and potentially a whole bunch of yeast. And then the balance is off. And then you end up with all these bad things happening. One factor is the liver, which normally produces an ethanol. It normally processes any ethanol created during digestion before it can build up in the bloodstream. But if the liver isn't functioning normal, the ethanol can accumulate, leading to that intoxication that we talked about. The condition is rare with about 100 known cases, although researchers believe there are probably more cases out there that haven't been reported. Symptoms of intoxication typically occur after meals or drinks that are high in carbohydrates, sugars, essentially. Foods that are high in carbs are things like pasta, potatoes, and juice. But the process isn't usually fast, and it could take up to 24 hours, which often makes the symptoms seem random and unrelated to your diet. So if you eat pasta for dinner tonight and tomorrow at noon you're feeling drunk, you wouldn't go, oh, it's because I ate a whole bunch of carbs for dinner last night. You're like, what's wrong with me?
To be fair, sometimes you do feel very drunk after eating a lot of carbs. Sometimes
I just feel sleepy.
You eat a lot of pasta and you're like, ooh.
Oh, it's time to take a nap.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, these symptoms can interfere with life activities, especially driving and personal interactions. People with the condition report similar some problems to individuals who abuse alcohol. They might experience problems with their jobs, relationships, accidents and injuries, blackouts, DUIs, not a good thing, and brain damage, to name a few. I mean, if you're constantly drunk at like 4 times the limit all day, every day,
Just
because you eat
bagels
sugary
for
shit,
breakfast.
right? You might end up with brain damage.
That'd be pretty
Right?
cool.
Terrible.
Out of all of the disorders, that'd probably be the one I'd pick. You get
But
to eat
you love
bagels
carbs
and get
as much
drunk
as
at the
me.
same time.
Yeah, but what
I
if
also
it's
like getting
too
drunk.
I don't know.
I'd
Although
find
they
an
are not
excuse.
drinking the alcohol,
Legally.
they're still having the same effects on their body and brain. It's I don't want. In very rare circumstances, it can lead to alcohol poisoning, which typically occurs when the BAC is 0.3 or higher. So yeah, you don't know. So you had 2 bagels.
You eat 2 bagels and a pizza, and then you get alcohol poison.
And you're
That's-
fucked. Not good.
I think that'd be pretty cool, though. As far as like
No,
serious medical
not if you get
conditions go,
alcohol poisoning.
I'd pick that over cancer.
Okay,
I'd pick that over
for
cancer.
sure.
That's a serious medical
Yes.
condition. You eat
If
bread
those
and
were
you
the
get
only 2
drunk?
options, yeah, I'm going to take Auto-Brewery syndrome, but it can be treated by balancing the gut microbiome and altering the diet. It may not cure the condition forever, though, if the cause returns, and then additional treatment may be required. As I mentioned, we're going to talk about a couple of cases. A teacher named Mark was puzzled when someone at school commented that he smelled like alcohol. Over several years, numerous reports were made about him smelling like alcohol, even though he hadn't been drinking. His wife noticed he would come home and act intoxicated with slurred speech and balance problems, and she thought he was secretly just drinking. Of course, why would you not assume anything other than that? If somebody acts drunk, you're going to think they've
They're
been
most
drinking.
likely drunk, yeah.
And if they're like, I swear to God, up and down, I didn't have any alcohol to drink, you'd be like, liar. The problems really hit home when he was pulled over twice for driving intoxicated. Even though he hadn't had a drop of alcohol, he still failed the field sobriety tests. The second arrest led to him being placed on administrative leave. Mark was able to find a doctor familiar with the condition, and he was diagnosed by using a simple blood glucose test and monitoring his blood alcohol levels. He has changed his diet permanently and self-monitors with like a BAC machine. So he checks his own.
So
he
he's
has a like home breathalyzer, basically.
like when you get too many DUIs, you got to start his car
Yep.
with a.
Probably. Yep. He's got to breathe into the engine. Another case came from Canada. This was a 50-year-old woman whose religion prevented her from drinking alcohol at all. And her husband confirmed that she never drank. Her symptoms included dizziness, disorientation, weakness, and loss of consciousness. She would pass out because she'd be too drunk. Over 2 years, she went to the hospital 7 times trying to figure out what was causing her symptoms. Doctors figured she was secretly drinking alcohol until finally a doctor suggested the rare condition. The symptoms began a few years before, after she had been on several antibiotics, which ruined her gut microbiome and caused the condition. She was successfully treated, but remains on a low-carb diet. Another case comes from Texas. This was a man in his 60s who had an interest in home brewing beer. His wife noticed that he seemed to be drunk at strange times, so she bought a home breathalyzer thinking that he was sneaking drinks. One day his symptoms were so severe that he went to the hospital where they tested his blood alcohol. It was over 3 times the legal limit for driving.
Ooh.
Yeah, not just a little drunk, like
That's a lot.
super duper. Yeah. He claimed to have not had any alcohol to drink, so the doctors admitted him and regularly tested his blood after giving him high-carb foods and drinks. His BAC increased after each carb intake.
Oh no, they're like, you need to eat bread.
Well, they're like, drink this glucose drink. Oh wow, his BAC went up. Okay, so let's have some pasta for dinner tonight. Oh shit, it went up.
Probably think it was
Further
sneaking drinks.
testing, right? Further testing showed high levels of brewer's yeast in his stomach, something that his home brewing hobby could have introduced
he
into
gave
his
it to
system.
himself.
Possibly.
No.
Yeah, because he liked to brew beer at home. So I didn't know that you could.
Homebrew beer never tastes good.
I didn't know you could do that.
It
No,
never tastes good. I've tried.
no,
it
it
never tastes
doesn't.
good.
It's terrible. Anyway, there you go.
Do you have a
Auto-Brewery
chaser
syndrome.
for us?
I do have a chaser. It is an Instagram account. Round.boys. So basically round boys on Instagram. And it's just basically cute and chubby animals doing adorable things. And they just are like little fat cats and little round seals. And so that's why it's round boys, but just adorable. Of course. I mean, you and I love animals. And so, yeah, I would check that out. It's cool.
That sounds good.
What's your chaser today?
My chaser is a podcast that has since been discontinued, but they have a good backlog that you can listen to
Okay.
called Taste Buds.
So bingeable.
Yeah,
What's it called?
Taste Buds.
Taste
So it's
Buds.
with Sal Vulcano from Impractical Jokers
Okay, yeah.
and another comedian, Joe DeRosa, and they'll present like, I don't know about food categories is the right word, but they'll be like, oh, peanut butter and jelly versus ham and cheese. And then they'll debate within each other and like they take
Okay.
it very seriously. So it's a very serious debate and they get heated very often. And it's like you're arguing about pastrami versus roast beef. And it's like
Okay.
it's very funny to listen to.
Yeah, it sounds funny. I don't know what I would choose over peanut butter and jelly and ham
Let's
and cheese.
see. I'm gonna see what some of their podcasts were about.
If you had to choose between peanut butter and jelly and hammy cheese, which
ham
one
and
would
cheese,
you choose?
Obviously, I'm not a sweet boy.
I kind of figured.
So they got one episode: Wendy's versus McDonald's.
Oh, Wendy's, 100%.
French fries
Screw
versus
McDonald's.
onion rings.
It depends on
Weed versus
the onion
alcohol.
rings.
They have 2 episodes about weed versus alcohol. High C versus Capri Sun. That's a Capri Sun for days.
Yeah. I don't think
burgers
I was
versus
ever into
tacos.
High C. What'd you say? What versus tacos?
Burgers versus tacos.
Ooh.
Chips Ahoy
I don't
versus
know.
Oreos. Hot Pockets.
Oh, Chips
versus
Ahoy.
French
Oreos
bread
are
pizzas.
gross.
They
No.
have some guests sometimes too, and they'll do a 3-way. And it's like one of the ones is breakfast versus lunch versus dinner.
Oh.
I think dinner wins.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
yeah, it's just kind of like a lighthearted debate thing, and instead of like political debates, it's like, oh, Oreos versus Chips Ahoy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like they get very heated about it, so it's kind of funny to let them listen and be like super serious. It's like,
Nice.
you cannot dip Oreos in milk before. It's like it's pretty funny though.
I like it.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for checking
Yes.
us out once again. Check
Definitely.
back next Wednesday for another episode of Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy.
And yeah, we'll get boozy and hopefully we'll have a good drink. We shall
Love you
see.
guys.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, friends. Thank you for supporting our podcast. Please share our show with your brutal and bizarre friends. Give us a boozy follow on your favorite podcast platform. If you're feeling extra generous, we'd appreciate a 5-star rating or review as well. But maybe do that sober so all the letters are in the right place.
You can find all our contact information in the show notes. We love hearing from you, and if you're interested in helping us stock the bar for our future boozy episodes, you can find our Patreon link in the show notes as well.